Hi everyone! Again, my name is Wendy. My website is witchkeys.com. I'm an intuitive energy healer and reader, as well as a number of other things. So that's what we're going to get into today. So some of the other things I offer would be angelic healing. Now, typically I would prefer to do this in person. I have yet to do it in a distant sort of way. However, it is something that is possible on some levels, just a little bit different, and something that if and when you choose to work with the angels, we would have to discuss it and see what I can come up with based upon what I have learned and how I work with them. And of course, discuss it with the angels too and see what they can tell me about how to work with you. So when it comes to the angelic healing format or modality, what occurs essentially is that I would set space with you. I would create the space that I have been taught and learned how to do by using different forms of visualization and energy work within that space. Once I create that space, I then call forth the four major archangels, Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel. And when they come forward, each of them having their own specific concepts of what they do, and also directions. Each of them have their own directions, such as north, east, south, and west. There are a tremendous amount of things in which they are obviously capable of, which is why those four are always called upon. Michael is a warrior and a protector of people in so many ways. He also helps cut cords. Raphael is a healer. He also helps with, lost things and, a number of other things very good at. Gabriel is also a rather fierce warrior. However, he does, help anyone that has any kind of, it doesn't matter what kind of job. I mean, we're talking running the gambit here from any type of speaking job, entertainment, singing, anything having to do with one's voice or speaking one's truth. Gabriel's good with that. And then Uriel is good with esoteric information or wisdom or knowledge that is unknown or needed or useful. And those are just some, minor things to which they can do. They're obviously very capable in a huge way whenever it comes to the different things that they can provide. I often work with the Archangel Michael to help people whenever it comes to cutting away unhealthy cords and stagnant energy. His energy is exceptionally strong, very powerful, very intense, yet at the same time also he can be very comforting. It's just he's just really strong. Gabriel and Raphael have their own type of energy. To me, that they're similar yet different. And for the record, Gabriel is depending upon how one chooses to view things, angels come to people in one gender or another. It doesn't matter. But Gabriel is often known as either male or female, and in a lot of cases feminine, and then depending upon the stories you read, sometimes masculine. So in the cases for me, I have gotten both the masculine and feminine versions of Gabriel. However, it's very much up to the person I'm working with. I might see them one way. However, the person I am attempting to help with angelic healing, it may come across differently. It's just, it's about you whenever it comes to the healing. The only way it comes to me is for the sake of, what I'm accustomed to, and then I will help translate and provide the intuitive information that may come along. Now, what occurs here is you've got these four angels that come together, and when I call them forward and I have someone set in this space for the healing, you, as the person who chooses to use angelic healing, have to be the person that gives permission and make the formal request of these angels to receive their healing, their blessings, or whatever it is that we have set out to do in order to get that work done for you. I can't do that for you. I can facilitate the meeting. I can facilitate putting everything together, and then I can facilitate bringing them to you. However, you are the one that has to state that you are willing, that you are making the request, because when it comes to angels and angelic work, angels can only help a person when they specifically ask for it. I'm not allowed to go, hey, go do this to that person. What I can do is I can say, hey, hi, so you, my friend, your name is such and such. Are you in agreement that you would like the aid and are requesting the aid of these four angels for the betterment of your health and well-being? If you're in agreement, please make a statement that says, I am requesting the aid of Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel for the betterment of my health and well-being, or whatever it is that we're choosing to do. Or I'm making a request of these four archangels, and we name them specifically, so that we can get the help, or that you can get the help that you desire in that particular point in time. Whether that's finding out some information that you need to help you heal, whether it's where to go next or what to do, or to get blessings or healing. I often, do any number of things with angels to provide people with blessings that are most needed at the time. And let me tell you, there's a really intense difference when you make a formal request of an angel to get their blessing or healing or whatever it is. They really do it. I have felt it each and every time I have been speaking to them individually or together as a team. They do come up and make themselves known to me separately and individually, so that I know the difference between each one of them. And also, when I make my request of what's occurring. Now, it is one of those things that, of course, I will always tell people, be careful for what you ask for, because when it comes down to it, one of the things I will also help facilitate is help you understand how to word a request, because we want to make sure that whatever it is you're asking for, the angels are definitely going to make decisions about how they hand it to you. They're not a genie in a bottle. They're not going to just, try and be tricky or what have you. However, it's the intent that you have inside you that's very important. It's very important about how you're feeling and what you're wanting to have done, because on occasions the angels might be going like, well, we can't really help with that, but what we can help with maybe something else. And the wording of it, believe me, I have sat 10 minutes, 15 minutes attempting to figure out how to word a single sentence just so they can go, okay, now we finally have it. And it's just about the fact that angels are required to work in a certain parameter, because their particular type of spirit or being, if you will, that is far removed from the majority of spirits or beings that most of us might work with. That includes gods and goddesses of the old gods or other types of spirits, whether it be the ancestors or anything in between. Angels have a different law to which they have to abide by. There is no option there, and there's very little wiggle room. So one of the major laws is that they cannot affect free will, meaning that they cannot help you without you requesting their help. So while you may have a guardian angel, everyone has a guardian angel. From my education, from my learning, from everything I've experienced, there's not a single person on this planet who doesn't have some sort of guardian angel, spirit, call it what you will, that is there. Whether they recognize that or not, whether they choose to work with them or not, whether they even think so or not. Think of it this way. A guardian angel is that person or being, if you will, that will follow you around, whether you realize, let's say, for example, you don't believe in angels or you don't think that you have one. I want you to consider a moment in time where you might have been going through something difficult and you're looking for answers, and all of a sudden an answer came to you out of the blue, or it just seems like coincidence. And then you have a feeling of, things being so synchronistic, and like you start to look at things and you go, oh my goodness, look here, and how it all lined up. Well, if you're at a particular age where you've had enough time in which to experience life, you can see certain types of patterns or certain types of coincidences or certain types of aha moments. Well, I can tell you right here and now that 9 times out of 10, most of the time, it's your intuition. And your intuition is coming not only from your own source, your own soul, your own spirit, your own higher self, whatever you wish to call it or name it or consider it. You're also receiving that as a result of the guardian that walks with you, that will find loopholes in which to provide you for answers. For example, there's so many times that people are out there, God, I need help, or I want help, or you pray in a certain way, or you say things you might not realize that, I really need help. I really need help. I really need help. So when you say those things and you mean it and you're looking for it, your guardian angel or, teacher, whatever you want to call it, say it a teacher, a guide, a guardian, will use that time as a loophole, going, well, they need help, so they've made that request, so I'm going to do whatever I can to put something in front of them or point them in the direction of getting the help that they need. And then free will takes over, and you have to be the one to see it, decide it, or, go. So you might be driving around and see a billboard, or you might see a license plate, or you might see numbers, or you might see, any number of things that you start seeing over and over and over again. Or you might see patterns of coincidence, like, wait a minute, I just saw this person over here, or I heard that name of, things that just can, in continuation for the angelic thing, pardon me for the stop. You will continue to see things that you have been seeing, and you will realize that whether it be the numbers or the names or what have you, that all of a sudden, something clicks and you're like, oh, I need to call this person, or I need to go here, or I need to do that. Well, that's a combination of your intuition, synchronicity, and it's getting lined up by your own spirit and by, most likely a teacher guide or your guardian angel. So these are examples. So when it comes down to it, while the 4 archangels are indeed called upon in an angelic healing, let's not forget the fact that you have your own guardian or teacher that's there with you, and then they will facilitate the aid that you or maybe requesting or looking for. And in that way, all of these angels and these guides or teachers that are coming together in that room are then working together as a team to help you with whatever it is that you've decided to make a request for. When we do that, it's no less than 45 minutes to an hour because of how long it takes me to set up the space. And then what I do is once the space is set and I've called them in, I let you know, and then I stay with you. And though I allow the time to pass in silence so that you can meditate or think or relax and allow that work to take place. Now, as it's taking place, I will sit in my own meditative state and pay attention to what is being given to me. And for the record, I will only be given the information that they are going to be willing to give to me, because a tremendous amount of stuff is going to be between you and them. However, I will be given enough information to pass along to you to let you know, hey, this is what I was given, this is the information I was provided, and hopefully, to validate and support whatever it is that you may have come up with. And even if you didn't come up with anything, or maybe your mind just wandered, what we can, believe it or not, there's enough of information whenever it comes to that. So one way or another, there is going to be something that will come along for you, and at the very least, what we can request is them to place blessings or healing upon you for whatever it is that you may be experiencing at that time. So what I recommend is that if you decide to do an angelic healing, just know this. They will show up. They will be there. It will take at least 45 minutes to an hour for the session, preferably in person. However, I will work on a concept of working with them that may be relative to distance. It just might not be the same way in which I have been taught and learned. And I am getting the concept right now that it's preferable that we do something in the same space. Because if it's in the same space, then it would be a lot healthier and a lot more productive. So for the angelic healing, it looks as if though, based upon what I'm getting, is that they would like it to be an in-person experience, which means I can come to you, or you can come to me, or we can set it up. For those that, are not anywhere near where I live, I will work on a different form of angelic healing that does not require you to be in the same space as me, and I will get back to you on what that might be. It may just be, working with them in such a way as to find out how they would like to proceed, and that's going to take a little time. However, I hope this helps in terms of letting you know what what the angelic healing is, and again, whenever it comes to this form of healing, it can be done for any number of reasons. For regardless, every single modality has its way of helping. However, some I may recommend over others depending upon what it is that you have going on. So again, my website is witchkeys.com. Feel free to reach me there or to reach out here and say, let me know what you need to know. I'm happy to answer your questions. And if you have any concerns or you'd like to know more, go ahead and look at my website and see what you can come up with there. And again, if you need anything, by all means, contact me, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, and have a lovely day.